bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see.
Hey folks, welcome back to Profit Prepper. I got like 5 things going on all at once. One of them being I need to turn my phone off. Hey, good morning. Having my coffee this morning. Just want to come to you with a real quick update in the chat. On the last or previous video a while ago, I did how to clean your ammo, and I've been working on this is the before, and then this is the after. And now this is these are 223 rounds, and they are, when they're done, they're smooth, and there's no nothing rough that would cause them to get caught up as they're chambered. And I've got a nice bag done, but I've been doing a myriad of different ammos. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you. I made reference to a way to do it. My thumb is real sore because of holding this thing. Not only these, but the 30-30, the 9mm, the 40 cal, and the 45. The smaller bullets are really hard. You got to really clamp down on them, and well, my fingers been hurting me. So what I did was I gave a little advice on that video about cleaning your ammo, and I took my own advice. And the problem that I have is I don't have a quarter drill, so I'm having to go and recharge these batteries every once in a while. So basically what's happening is I'm just rubbing this like this, going back and forth, taking my time. There's a little bit of pressure with this hand holding them, but it seems to be doing the job. And it's just an attachment that goes into the drill. Now, if you actually have a quarter drill with a lock, somewhere up here, that would really be much easier. And the nice thing about this is where the boot of the round is, you can see all that oxidation. This will actually get in there and clean it really well. And then you can clean the firing pin really well. Sorry, that's loud. So I wanted to show you guys, I have a large bag of about, I think that's about 700 rounds that have to be cleaned. And I have a feeling it's going to take me all of the rest of the year to get these clean. Commandeered my youngest adult son, who is in between jobs. And he's been working on the smaller ammo. But I also wanted to come and talk to you this morning real quickly about, many of you know that I am first and foremost a minister of the gospel. I'm a pastor, and I'm not here on this channel to talk about God in a way that many would consider it a ministry, or however you would you would title that. But I do get a lot of leadings, and I do get a lot of understandings over the years I have. And I wanted to talk a little bit about 2 things. One, I want to talk about finally about why and how I ended up here in Pennsylvania. But I did want to talk about something this morning. I woke up this morning thinking about the draft. I have a young adult son, 18 years old, and I have another son that's 26 years old, both in healthy physical condition. And when I woke up this morning, I woke up thinking about the draft. Now, when I say I woke up thinking about the draft, I just discerned the word draft, and I kept seeing my son. And so I'm going to be praying for my son, because I have a feeling that something very uh, ugly is coming our way, and I have a feeling that uh, there may be a draft call up. And I hope to God I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. It's one of these times where in the prophetic gifting you really hope that you're wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. So I want to talk a little bit about me coming to Pennsylvania and why, pertaining to the Prepper channel and the prophetic. Back in 2011, late 2000, no, I would say late 2011, early 2012, my wife and I had moved up from Florida, and we had moved back to New York. I began the process of starting up my business again in the tri-state area, and just felt like over a 2-3 year period, I struggled. I really struggled with getting everything moving, and my wife and I just sensed and knew that New York wasn't going to be our final destination. And I can't explain it other than um, my wife and I often had conversations of, man, where are we going to end up? Because this, we just knew it wasn't the right place for us. We went back to New York originally because it was familiar, and we had a lot of old ties, and we could restart again very easily. So we decided, after a few years of badgering God, we decided that we were going to just stop bothering the Lord, and just maybe just keep praying. And when we committed in our heart to not be anxious, uh, this was in mid 2012. Um, I had a myriad of uh, two dreams. Well, a myriad of events. Two dreams. One the next night, right at no, it was the following week. I think it was the following week. I had a dream that I had been moving. I was moving to Florida, to Pennsylvania. And then I had uh, told my wife the dream, and the dream was very very interesting, that it wasn't a lot of weird things that happen commonly in a dream. And then before the second dream, I was in a full sleep, and I woke up yelling, screaming, but not screaming fear, but like a rah, rah scream. And and I've told this to quite a few people, and they're like, wow. And when I did that and I woke up, my hands were up, and in my room was the darkest of fear and wickedness that just engulfed my room. Uh, in that moment, from a sound sleep to sitting straight up doing that, I quickly realized that there was something going on, and that I was being, let's just say, I was being probed, or I was trying to be, the demonic was trying to expose or find out what God had been doing with me, because I had that very powerful dream about moving to Pennsylvania. And then it was like a few days after that, I had another dream, different, but it was the same purpose. The dream was I was moving to Florida, moving to Pennsylvania again. And I was like, I often pray and ask the Lord, what is going on here? And so I did. I said, Lord, what are you doing? Are you sending us to Pennsylvania? And then after I thought about that, I was like, oh man, I don't want to go to Pennsylvania. What's in Pennsylvania? I don't want to live in Pennsylvania. Now, let me back up a little bit. There had been a process of how I learned some things that were coming to New York. coming to the East Coast, and maybe I'll share them later on in this on this channel. Uh, and my wife and I had an awareness that some things were coming that were going to be very profound for the East Coast and primarily New York. Now, I didn't know a pandemic was coming. I didn't know a financial crisis like this was coming, but I discerned that the economy was going to be rent from what was commonly known and um, expressed in this country. And but we knew that there was some pretty bad things, and I knew that at some point in time uh, we were going to be moving from New York, and I didn't know where. But over that process of going through, Lord, I don't want to go to Pennsylvania, I was quickly reminded of the things that the Spirit of the Lord had shown me about things that were coming to New York or the East Coast. So a day or two later, I get a phone call from an older friend of mine, and we're talking. And he says, I'm calling you specifically for something that I was told to call you for." And basically, I was offered a position to work for a company in central Pennsylvania, and my wife and I were like blown away because we had the two dreams. Then I had that issue waking up in the morning, and then I get a call that I'm being asked if I want a job in Pennsylvania. So I at that point realized God is beginning to woo me and is beginning to make preparations for protection, and preparation for what is coming. And so I said to him, I said, well, not really. And it was interesting because my heart was open. I really was perceptive and aware and open to the possibility that this could be the leading of God. And so I said to him, I said, well, I'll have to think about it, and I'll have to ponder. Um, and I said to my friend, I said, well, I said it'd have to be worth my while and my time. And so I asked him for the phone number of the regional supervisor, who I knew as well. And this is how all this happened. He knew me, trusted me, knew my skill and my ability, and basically it had to do with the fracking industry here in central Pennsylvania. And the last person that had the position almost caused an entire mountain to be removed. There was construction near a 2-foot feeder line, and he didn't do his job, and they almost hit it. And if they would have hit it, that mountain, this whole region up here in northern Pennsylvania would have been one big crater. And so so I called him, and ultimately what I said to him, I said, if you really want me to come to Pennsylvania, I said, it's going to have to be worth my while. He said, well, what are you thinking? And so I said, I'll get back to you in a day. And we talked, my wife and I talked, and we threw out a number. And it was one of those numbers, one of those things that we said, Lord, if this really is your leading and your preparation, I'm going to be really, really pressed on provision and the finances, that it will absolutely be a confirmation by his giving that this is a confirmation. And so I called him back, I gave him a number that was really, really high. Because now you're talking about having to move my family again into an area or a region of the country that we know nothing about. No house. I had at the time, both my boys were in school. And so it was a big, big thing for me to consider this move. So my wife and I called him back, and I gave him a dollar amount, a salary amount. And he's like, all right, I'll have to get back to you. And 2 days later, we spoke, and he said, how soon can you be in Pennsylvania? And I knew at that point, okay, Lord, if you gave me favor, uh, I know, I laid it out, Lord, and you've answered my request. And so he approved my astronomical salary. And so that is how and why pretty much is um, before, um, well, let's see, I left in 2000, late 2000 or mid 2012 in August. But I had left Florida and moved up to New York in 2010. Now I had already been at that point already heavily involved with a prophetic ministry down in Manhattan called Prophet.tv, Prophet and Apostle Don Paul. And so I was also involved with Times Square Church, Pastor David Wilkerson. And so um, many of you can listen to the prophecies of David Wilkerson. You might find them very interesting about what he saw in New York. He saw buildings burning. He saw financial collapse. He saw so many things. But I've seen those things, and I knew they were coming much sooner, much more before uh, Pastor David Wilkerson had gotten those words and leadings. And then I had my own understanding that I had gotten about the East Coast was going to be there was going to be great disaster on the East Coast, and I didn't know what it was going to be, if it was going to be in New York all the way down the coast, or primarily New York up the coast, or just New York being the financial capital of the world that it is. I did not know, did not understand, but I did know that I needed to get out of New York. I knew from before the point in time when I said to the Lord, oh Lord, not Pennsylvania. Well, the place in Pennsylvania that I'm in is I'm in central Pennsylvania. I'm in the middle of a number of valleys right on the Susquehanna River in a small city. It's a small city comparative or relative to where I'm from, but the climate is different. The weather, the airstream and weather patterns that go around this region are amazing. Now, my mother-in-law lives at a lower altitude. Um, Actually, I take that back. She lives at a higher altitude, lower towards the equator than we are, and she gets the worst weather. Like last year, she had a number of 18-inch, 20-inch snowfalls. Last year, we had 1 3-inch snowfall here in northern central Pennsylvania, and it's very odd here. The weather pattern around the valley, the valley that we're in, and there are mountains, mountains and mountains and mountains just encircle this one region. Interesting thing was, it was not my choice to be here. This was the location that I was asked to be in for the job. And so we have found that there are a lot of special attributes about this area that I'm in. So to really make a long story shorter, there is a lot of interesting things going on here. And even to the point that the home that I have now, one of them 11th hour provisions of God. And so that's pretty much it, folks. I know it's kind of a longer video, but just I love to hang out and talk and speak of God's goodness and the stories and the things that he's been doing. I love the fellowship. Please leave comments and share. these testimonies and these videos. I am always and constantly trying to get people out of New York and from the East Coast. If you have any desire, any wanting to talk about this area, you can leave me an email at allthingsprophetic@aol.com. Lowercase letters, one word, and I'll put that in the video. Allthingsprophetic@aol.com. And if you are interested in wanting leadings on precious metals, not religious, I hate religious, prophetic leadings or quickenings that I've been getting, you are welcome to come to my Patreon account. For $5 a month, you get all of the teachings and the leadings, the quickenings that I get for $5 a month. It's all it is. It's $5 a month. And I often have many of the folks there saying, that you can't beat $5 a month. So it's Patreon /home space capital ALL space capital THINGS space capital PROPHETIC. All Things Prophetic is the Patreon account. And you're welcome to come by and participate there. I don't often advertise my Patreon account, but when I do, it's there's usually a reason. So that's it, folks. God bless, and I hope you enjoy our community, our Prophet Prepper channel, and I hope that many of you will share. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content, if you appreciate the effort. And I have a bunch of videos planned. I'm going to do another video on ammo prep here again, a follow-up to the ammo oxygen absorbers for the long-term storage of the ammo. And I'm going to be talking and showing my go bag, and talking about an alternative location from my home if I need to really consolidate what is going on and have more of a controlled structure, or controlled my surroundings in more of a controlled way, which usually means going to a place that's much smaller, more confined, with an awareness of the complete surrounding. So that's it, folks. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk to you again soon.